everybody, what's up? My name is Tyler Mohr, as you know, and I'm back here again for another episode of the almost daily vlog with Bad Poncho Outdoors. Now last week we just kind of went over what was coming up here on this show and kind of what was going on around my neck of the woods, as well as some of your necks of the woods as well. So we'll just recap that really quick. I was lucky enough to go to the Northwest Sportsman's Show on Friday night. Awesome time there if you guys had a chance to go. Really an enjoyable experience, a lot of cool stuff there, a lot of fun companies there, a lot of fun brands there. Some of the highlights for me, got to pick up the new 13 fishing concept reels, and it is probably the lightest and smoothest fishing reel I've ever picked up. It is unbelievable. Beautiful cork handles, beautifully finished, and just super smooth, super light. I think their highest end models weighing in at just 5 ounces, which is unbelievable for a bait casting reel. Even their versions that was like $170 is still under 6 ounces, which is crazy. So I mean, if you get a chance and if you're looking for a quality reel, that's definitely a reel to look at. Another thing that I looked at, the more and more I look at them and the more and more I climb around in them, I really want a Phoenix boat. Wow, those things are unbelievably nice. And I talked to the reps there. We sat and talked to them probably half hour, maybe 45 minutes, and we went over all the features in those boats. And those things are decked out inside. And they're just awesome construction, awesome color schemes. I love the way the boat's laid out. Tons of storage space, tons of room for you to do anything you want really with them. So many additional options and features that you can get on them if you're looking for a new boat. Phoenix is starting to spread up into the Midwest, and that's a really exciting thing for us up here because we don't get a lot of boats like that. Same with like Bass Cat and those companies like that. It's nice to see those boats finally making their way up north and to the Midwest area because those are some really nice boats, and I'm really excited to have them up here. So the Phoenix boats were really cool. Got to talk to Andy Young, Bass Central Open winner down in Amistad. Always a fun time to talk to Andy. He's a great guy. Saw just about everybody there. I mean, really, all the big shots from up north are always down there, and so it's great to talk to them and great to see them, and that's always a fun time for me. But this week, as I promised, I am going to just kind of run over very briefly, for a lot of people who don't know, how to oil reels. It's something that I talk to a lot of people, and you think it's kind of commonplace, but it's really not. A lot of people just simply don't know how to do it or do it correctly, so they're getting the most out of their reels and the most performance out of their reels. For somebody like me who loves to keep their gear as pristine as possible, even though I beat the heck out of it during the season, cleaning is huge for me. I spent about 5 hours last Friday night, or this past Friday night, doing all my reels and rods, giving them baths and washing them down and oiling and everything. For me, the way my gear looks and performs is everything. So, I mean, it's huge for me, and that's what I want to, preach to you guys, is that you really need to take care of your gear, because obviously you don't want to go blow $150 on a reel and then beat the heck out of it and then have it last 1 year, because even the most high-end quality stuff is not going to last if you not taking care of it. So that's what we're here to show you. It's just kind of how to take care of it. I'm going to start with a Shimano bait casting reel here. I'm going to get it down. This is my Chrome arc I have on my flipping stick. Unspool or unwind it here. Alright, we got that taken care of. Alright, so here's what we're looking at. This is Shimano Chronar 200 E6. Now, first things first, Shimano is really easy to take apart. Alright, so you got this you got this switch right here. You're going to switch that to open. It shows you right there, open. You're going to let that pop open just like that, so you can see the brake pins inside. Shimano has a really awesome brake pin system, really easy to work with, unlike some other companies. This is super easy now. You can just pop, I'm going to do it right now. You're just going to pop this spool out, if I can get it out, there it goes. Just pop that spool out like that, and now you're looking at the inside of your reel, okay? Super easy. When it comes to oil, I use Quantum Hot Sauce. You can buy that at Tackle Warehouse. Otherwise, there's some other companies. I know Ardent makes real butter. But I use Quantum Hot Sauce, and that's what my dad uses, and I really enjoy it, and I really like it. Little red bottle, or a little clear bottle with red liquid in it. Don't spill it anywhere because it stains. But Quantum Hot Sauce is what I use. And first things first, when we're looking at the reel, we're going to put a drop on the inside back in here, on the inside of the spool. Just one drop inside of there. That's going to control your tension control under there. We're going to put one drop right here on the level wind gear so that when you're spinning that, that's what controls that. Now on the spool itself, I'm going to put one right here where the brake system is, and I'm going to put one right here where the pin slides back in. Just one drop. You know, if you over oil this, I mean, it's going to gum up inside here, and that's never a good situation. So I'm going to put this back together quick. But again, I can't stress how important it is not to over oil these things. Another place to put them, snap this back on, but another place to put them, make sure you put one drop up inside of here in the level wind. I usually just put one there, put one in the pawl gear as well. The pawl gear is right in here. You can screw that tight. Another area to put them is if you undo your tension control knob. I'm not going to do it right now, but if you undo the tension control knob, that's going to open up. There's sometimes washers in there depending on the model of reel you use or the brand of reel you use. There's going to be washers in there, so be really careful if you pull that apart. Otherwise, washers will go flying everywhere, and then you're not going to find the washers, and then your reel doesn't work, and that's no good. So be really careful when you're taking these apart, and make sure you know how to put them back together. That's why I'm kind of showing you right now. You know, as soon as you put this side cap back on like this, you're just going to close that like I opened it. I'm going to set this to the side right here. I'm going to pull up an Abu reel now, an Abu Garcia reel. This is an older Pro Max that I have, 7-to-1 that I use for some rattle trap stuff, and sometimes I use it for faster moving spinner baits or buzz baits. There, it falls off. Alright, so Abu Garcia is a little bit different in the way they do their stuff. Reel up this excess line. But Abu Garcia, instead of having a side pin, they have this is their braking system right here. So instead of having a side pin that pulls off, all they have is this little knob right here. That little knob unscrews either, depending on how tight you've had it tied, either with your finger or you can use a very small screwdriver. That's going to unscrew. Let me unscrew it all the way. That's going to come out, and all you're going to do now is take the side plate. Oops, I didn't unscrew it far enough. But all you're going to do now is take this side plate, twist it up, and pop it off. Just like that. Really easy. And then it's all the same on the inside, exact same workings. So you can just do the same thing with the gear in there. Also, if you have an excess amount of grease in there, be careful. Sometimes they over grease them. Just wipe a tiny bit of that grease off from the inside on there, and that'll also make your reel a little bit smoother if it's gummed up on the inside. But otherwise, it's the same thing. You just put one drop inside, one up on top, one on the spool or on the level wind itself, and that's a really easy process. And this is, a lot of guys make this a lot harder than it actually is. So I mean, it's not a hard process at all, but it's a very important process to keep your reels working to their maximum potential. We're going to look at spinning reels now. Spinning reels are always fun, and spinning reels are way easier because there's not as many parts to them. This is my new Denali Covert rod, by the way. I love it. Denali Covert. If you're looking for a middle-of-the-road priced rod that's going to live up to every expectation you have, Denali Covert. Swear to God. It's awesome. Alright, so here's what we're looking at. This is a Shimano Symmetry. And spinning reels are the easiest thing in the world. Alright, so up on top, you got this. We're going to unscrew this drag lever. It's going to take a little bit of spinning. And spinning. And more spinning. And more spinning. It's a lot of spinning. Alright, as soon as that comes off, what you're going to notice on the inside here, just pop the spool out just like that. Now in here, this is the main gearing of the reel. I just put one drop right in the center part right there of the reel. It's really easy. I mean, there's really not a whole lot you can do. Just put one, maybe two drops, depending on how dry it is in here. It all depends on your reel. If your reel's super dry and you've never oiled it, okay, maybe then you want to put more than one drop in there. That's totally up to you, though. I mean, that's something that you have to decide depending on your reel itself. Actually, just going to slide the guide right back in here, or slide the line right back into the line holder on the reel. But, and then I'm going to slide that back on once I've got that taken care of, and just twist that back on so it falls into place just like that. I'm also going to put one drop right up here in the main system, so that when I spin this back on, that's going to cover that or take care of that. There it goes. And then it's going to be the same thing as with the other, as with the bait casting reels. When you look at You're just going to unscrew this side, which is where the you switch handles. Some guys don't like to do this. You don't need to do this. I like to put one in there just to keep it lubed in there. It's not necessary because all it does is where you're switching handles, but I think it makes your reels, I think it makes it a little smoother when you're reeling. That's opinion, and I just put one small drop in there. If that's something you want to do, then that's something you should do. Otherwise, you can probably just leave it and you'd be okay. So spinning reels, really, there's nothing to them at all besides just a couple drops on the inside, and that's about it. And it'll keep them running. I mean, you'll be amazed at how much smoother they'll run when you're done with them. And it'll make a world of difference. I mean, you'll come out with a reel that, you know, is maybe a little bit clunky after last year and a little bit dirty on the inside, and as soon as you shine it up and put that new oil in, all of a sudden it's running just like you bought it, you know, yesterday. And so that's it's an awesome way to keep your gear, just an easy way and an awesome way to keep your gear running at its finest performance. As far as rods, again, it's super easy. The way I take care of my cork rods, and I don't have many cork rods anymore, but the ones I do have, after a year of holding them and, you know, playing with them, they get dirty. The oil from your hands rubs off on them, and they be huge dark patches on them, and gets all gross, and it's, you know, makes it a little bit harder to grip, and it's not very pretty either. So the easiest way to take care of that and take care of cork rods is to get a bucket of hot water, very hot water. Put a little bit of dish soap in it or a little bit of regular soap in it, whatever you prefer. And you're just going to take, I use a Mr. Clean, the magic erasers. I use them, that's how I clean it. You can use a rag too, it doesn't matter. I just prefer the magic eraser, it's a little easier to handle. All you're going to do is dip it into the soap and water, and you're just going to take it and very lightly scrub up and down on the cork, really lightly. If you go too hard, you're going to end up stripping the cork, which is never fun. So you're just going to dip that, and then you're going to use the dry side of the magic eraser or the towel or whatever you're using, and just lightly again scrub it off with the dry side so that the soap gets in there and rubs it off. And you'd be amazed the amount of dirt. I mean, I came out with a brand new magic eraser that was just covered in dirt that you can't even see, and it comes out looking brand new. I do the same thing in my reel seats, kinda. I mean, just to throw a little bit of water in there and splash out any dirt that gets caught from the reel inside of there. I also just work it up and down the guides a little bit to clear out anything from the guides or on the main frame of the rod or the main core of the rod. That's another way to do it. EVA foam is a little bit different. It doesn't gather as much dirt, and it definitely doesn't show as much dirt. With EVA foam, you can just really quickly just go down it with the rag, work down it with the rag really fast one time. The water will kind of just wash off any surface stuff or surface dirt off the EVA, but the EVA doesn't really retain any dirt really, so that does a pretty good job there. I mean, that's really basically it. It's a super easy process, and it doesn't take long at all. I mean, as far as just cleaning and oiling my rods and reels, that probably took me about an hour total, and I have 10 of them. So that's not hard. You know, the hardest part is obviously respooling everything and getting all that redone. But really, it's just an easy way to work with your rods and reels to make them look good and perform well. And that's all I'm trying to do here. And I hope that it helped you guys out. I mean, it's something that I learned from my dad, and he, you know, learned from whatever his dad, and it's just been something that's passed down. But a lot of anglers overlook it, and gear management and care is huge. So you can ask that to, I mean, I'm sure any pro will tell you the same thing. So again, that's all I got for right now. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Of course, go ahead and go like the Bad Poncho Outdoors Facebook page for me, and subscribe on YouTube. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel as well and like my Facebook page. I'm just Tyler Mohr on YouTube, and then I'm Tyler Mohr Fishing on Facebook, so you go ahead and give that a like for me too. We've got a contest going on right now that's going to end soon, so go ahead and enter that. That would be awesome. Some great products there to give away. Until next time, my name is Tyler Mohr with the Almost Daily Vlog, and we will see you on the water, guys.